When we as a our applications invoke this is our applications, and they invoke the any cloud based or local Gen AI model, any LLM model. Okay, then Gen AI model, Gen AI model. So our application send the prompt, and expecting the response. That's great. We are passing the input and we are getting the output. That's great. There is no any concerns and problem. But look the behavior of my application. Okay, look the behavior of my application. My application can require the response in a particular format. Okay, so default response of the LLM is just unstructured text. But the application where we are displaying to the customer or UI or writing in the database, sometime our applications, let's say we are working on a Java application. So generally, our application are expecting a response in the form of Java object. So the question, can our Gen AI model response me a Java object or a structure output, or .NET application then .NET, Python then Python object, Go language the Go. So now today our objective, whatever the language we building our application, our intention that we are getting a response from Gen AI in a particular format. That is known as a structure output. So if you look the plain LLM model, LLM, whatever the Gen AI model you are using, that are trained on the huge millions of data. But this is the independent about the client which they are asking to the question. Java application can communicate to the LLM. .NET application can communicate. Go language can communicate. Python can communicate. So application generally expecting you give me response in the particular object. That's great. So let's check it's feasible or possible. How as a Java application developer utilize this facility. Okay. So Spring AI provides such capability. By default, our Gen AI LLM model are responding unstructured output. But our applications expecting a structure input, a structure output, so that they can easily do the processing. So today we are going to talk about the structured output. So when our application interacting with a large language model LLM, default output is a unstructured text. So this is the default behavior of your LLM and the communication between your application. Whatever the LLM model you are using, you ask question, they respond. By default, response is the unstructured. So this is problematic for the application that need the structured data. So application from where you are interacting with the model, our application built in the format of Java object, list, map, some JSON. So make our application smooth walk, we need something. That is our expectation, our communication between the AI and chat model response would be restructured. So that is the good part. Spring AI offer the structure output. So how the Spring AI provide the solution for this is the default behavior of LLM, that's the response is the unstructured data. They are Spring AI provide this solution by this way. First, adding the formatting instruction to the prompt before sending to the LLM. So what the designs here mention, hey, our application send a prompt to the LLM. So before sending a prompt to the LLM, AI can going to introduce, hey, this is my format which I am expecting. So that LLM can aware, hey, we have to return JSON data, CSV data, Java object, or something. So at least we give hint to LLM, hey, our expectation, you give me the formatted data in a particular form. That's great. And second, once we receive the response from the LLM, that is the unstructured data, unstructured text, then Spring AI provide the converting LLM response into the structures Java object. So this is the way Spring AI provide the solution between the your applications and a Gen AI. And whenever you sending a response, while sending response, you add the structure format so that our Gen AI generate the response and send you in a simple text or unstructured format. Now again Spring AI play a role to convert the LLM response to corresponding the structure data which application want. So this is the high level flow. So before and after. Okay. So this is the before calling to your LLM, and this is the after LLM. So let us see the our LLM where you are going to make a call. So our application, whatever the raw prompt, whatever the raw input we have, we are going to send LLM. But before going to sending LLM to the Gen AI, we are going to say whatever the raw input plus the format which we want. So here Spring introduced the concept of in your request or the client you mention, hey, this is the format we are expecting. So that LLM while generating response, they aware the client are expecting response in the particular format, so they can generate accordingly data. So again, the LLM can generate the raw text output, and then again already our structures output converter already Spring provided couple of structure output converter, so your text can be easily converted in the particular format. Why? Because you already requested, hey LLM, can you generate data in the particular format, in the whatever the response you are sending, I am going to format that, so the data the LLM generate accordingly, so that easily the raw structured data, unstructured data can be converted to the structure output. And finally, whatever the object converted by the Spring AI, that pass to the your application. So our applications pass the input and getting the structured output. Between that, between our Gen AI, between our applications and our Gen AI, Spring abstraction layer also play a very critical role to instructing the formatting information and converting the raw response from Gen AI to the structure output. So that is the concept about the before and after. So whenever your application need to structure output, then you have to think before LLM call and after LLM call. The Spring here doing the works. The convert the appended format structure to the prompt and providing explicit guidance to the method are generating desired output structure. The instruction act as a blueprint, shaping the model response and confirm the specific format. So this is to just help us the LLM. Hey, LLM expect the user, the client want to data in the particular format, so they can generate data accordingly. Okay, and once LLM are receive the output, then the converter again take the model output text and transform into the instance of a structure type. This conversion process involves parsing the raw text output and mapping to the corresponding structure data object, maybe JSON, XML, or domain specific. This is the way Spring decided to address the structures output situation. Okay, and if you talk about the AI offer mostly couple of types of conversion. So main is the three type of converter. One may be you are asking some data and they return just only one object, maybe like any. So how you tell? So here Spring offer the two level of API. One is very high level of API, and one is a very low level of API. So generally, we as a application developer are not going to more talk about the how low level implementation level. But Spring AI provides a very simplified way. Hey, don't worry, all the concept of including your structure output format to the prompt and getting the response and converting and returning, let them AI framework do. What you tell, you just tell what kind of class object you want. So whenever you are saying, hey, chat client library, call the LLM, and whatever the response you're getting, you can tell, hey, I want to get the response like a particular return types of the particular class. So where you can tell, hey, this is my return object I want. That is known as a in whenever you are calling the GenAI response and response come in the a particular object, and those objects have a method like a content, get response, get result. Similarly, one methods introduce, but the Spring AI is the entity. You just tell the entity, hey, this kind of entity I want. So Spring nowadays you can get structure output in the form of maybe particular bean, maybe particular object, particular class one. Maybe you want to list of the particular bean. Okay, list of kind of object you want. So list of t, you whatever you want. And sometime you want to kind of map key value, key value, key value, key value. So for this scenario, beam output converter, list output converter, and map output converter, these are the basic structure output converter already provided by the Spring Beam, and you have to not do any works here. Just tell them, hey, while preparing client request and what kind of response you want, in the while the preparing response, at that time you tell, I want this kind of response. Just, and this is the high level kind of the class map output converter, beam output converter, and list output converter. Internally, they have a, again message converter, structure output converter, and conversion, and similarly format and converter. So lots of these are the you can say everything from your perspective is the internal API. How Spring AI implemented? You just tell, hey, I want this particular one kind of object, maybe one object, a list of object, or map of object, and now everything taken care by your Spring ecosystem to ensure that your applications, your client returns you the very formatted response. Okay, so the response object which we talk, that is the whenever you can say chat client dot prompt dot user message dot call, then we generally say get content or get response. So whenever you can say call Gen AI return one response. So while returning response, Spring AI introduce the method entity. You just tell them, hey, once you call Gen AI generate response and tell us, at that time you can convert to a specific types of the object. So entity is the overloaded method. We talk Spring AI support three kind of conversion to three overloaded method here. This is parameterized type reference, generally map for the map. This is the structure output. You can just provide your a list of implementation or simple one specific object you want. So let's talk about the demo part, how it works. One simple demo. Okay. So here let's So let's run and check. We have already a simple one chat client available, and we have a chat client dot prompt dot user message, then call, and after that we're getting the content. So if you be careful, like if you call, they return the call response specification. So this specification, you have a method like a content. Give me the only content, but here we can tell, hey, give me the provide me the specific formatted data. Let's check our application running or not. Let's run here. Yes, it's running. Let's check the particular API. Hi. Or you can share the say list the top 5 Indian movies. Okay. Here you can say, let's note by default how the application behave. You say, hey, give me the list of 5 Indian movies. So now they are going to generate. But they are going to generate, notice they are generated this very good response. Okay, they are given some movie names, some years, and some more details. So this is kind of information they generate one text format. Okay, so can we expect, hey, this response would be in the kind of list of movie, and each movie can contain the title, year, and some actor, something detail. So how we tell them? So this is the simple way. Uh, Here, whenever let's I can just make another API. I'm just changing. But I want to not return the response like just a string. I want to return the response maybe like you can say a particular movie response kind of. It's just create one class record, maybe a record, and you can say movies. You can create one movies response. Okay, and let us just this movies can have a let's list of uh, list of let's again list of movies movie. Okay, movies, list of movies. And what is the movie? Let's declare one more record. So here you can say mention. Let's quick import java.list. So here we define, hey, I am going to our API return the movies. Okay, and here say, hey, movies, and instead of us, let's key movies. Okay, this is the API you can develop. And now, whenever you chat client on chat client prompt, sorry, prompt, okay, and here pass user and then call. Then here instead of content return your text. If you look this content API, they return the string. I don't want to string. I want particular types of. So we are mentioned here is this three overloaded method available. We have entity, just mention the types, or list, or map. For these three types of converter already you have implemented. So here I can say, hey, I want not content, I want entity. And here we can mention give me entity like a movies.class. So now you mention, hey, API, movie API, can you just give me the movies? And movies is the list of movie. Each movie contains title and title, maybe let's actor could be. which actor, and which year. So three name you can define. So notice the response which we have here mentioned something very text. So now whenever our application tell them, hey, I want the response as a list of movies. So now at this time, API going to generate content that contain at least the title part, name part, year part. So those information LLM give us, and again, so our Beam Spring AI convert those raw structure in this movie format. So everything that is taken by your structure output converter. So let's build this application. Started, and let's ask the question. So instead of this, I'm going to ask movies, movies, and the prompt, and let's check. Notice we are getting uh, something, the name, year, and every actors are the null. Okay, somehow they are uh, movies. They can. What is the key? Might be they are not aware the response. Okay, so somehow let's check again. Why not generate movies? Maybe let's change again. So sometime, but in this way you can tell title, actor, actor name, main actors, main actor, main actor name, title, year, okay, movie name. Title means movie name, movie name, movie name, names, spacing, and years. Let's again repeat. And this is also depend upon which model you are using, what the date till the they are generated. But overall on tension, you can get your structures output. I have a list to me the top Indian movies which in that include include movie name, main actor and years, and yes, you tell them. Okay, notice now they are generating response because you mentioned detail. "Okay, I need this movie and also need the name, actor, and year." Here mention, hey, this is the top movie's name, this is the main actor, this is the movie name, and this is the year. This is the actor, movie name, year, actor, movie name, year, actor, movie name, year, and actor. So this is the way. If you ask the same question, if you ask the same question with this API without entity, without this API, ask API, then they will return very text. But at the same request, you pass and tell, hey, Spring AI, I'm telling you the my structure output. Then they respond properly. If you again ask the same same question with the help of, instead of this movies, let's ask the your simple API ask. And in this case they are just generating plain with all details. Look at, this is the plain, this is the detail, this is everything, right? Now you mention this is the movie name, classical detail, this is the way they are generating. Okay, but we can say, hey, I need the structure output. So this raw information generated by our LLM, whenever we introduce, no, hey, I want a kind of a structure output, then this data taken care by Spring AI and convert your movie object and make a list and then responsive. So the conversion of your raw text to the actual Java object is taken care by your Spring ecosystem. Okay, and if you invoke the movies, then the same request, same response you are getting in the form of, okay, you are getting the complete structure output. But that is sometime our application work fine, and anyone, any client applications are going to invoke my API, they are getting the proper object. Maybe maybe you want to map kind of things, then they return the map object and something, whatever the informations you want. But this is the only one entity where we as a application developer tell them, chat client, hey chat client, I want to response in a particular format, and your uh, Spring ecosystem is responsible to take care of that. Okay, but that is the, if you want to take the deep detail more about the implementation, then you can go this kind of data, and here whatever the structure output kind of an interface then extended by the converter, and these converters the class where whenever internally our high level API internally include all these available information in the prompt. Whatever the user prompt, they are internally using the uh, prompt template and passing your format, which format you want right now. So these are the different kind of implementation available, and these are the available converter. Okay, so the kind of movie actor names were mentioned, that the detail here. So notice here we can pass the model and all and everything. So in this way, this is known as a, what currently we are using, just using the chat client, and while the call method we set the entity and share our class model. This is known as a very high level fluent API in the chat client. But the Spring also allow, if you are using the low level chat model, low level API, like you can go and create the beam structure output object and mention this is my entity, and this is my format, what is the format you can get, and while using the string template and the format you can include here. And once you going to the call our chat model using this prompt templating, you pass your template and set, hey, this is my variable and format I want. And once you get the output, then you can call, hey, the this class have a output converter class, call the convert method, and whatever the response we are getting generated as a text, they can convert it to the proper object. So instead of we are going to the very low level API call, this is a very simplified way. You can just say entity and tell mention. So everything low level work is taken care by your Spring ecosystem. So in this way, you can, if you let's say you want to generate output like a map kind of things, you can mention here. Okay, hey, this is the kind of map output. So just here mention parameterize map references. Here mention the map and string and object which you want. That's just. But if you want to low level, so here low level you can create the map output converter, and once you get the response, you can call the convert method and they can convert. So that's from our perspective, we are using the chat client high level, a very fluent API to get the structures out. So everything, lots of information detail given there, you can just take. So these are the you can say the point where sometime you want to make a very structured kind of output, so you can get. And this is the high level architecture. So our this is your AI, Spring AI. This is your generative AI, LLM, and now your user application. User application internally taken care by your chat client library. Chat client library. And chat client library is the part of your AI ecosystem. Okay, so your application include this jar and they ask, hey, I give me the question. Internally, lots of input, prompt template, appending your structure format, then making the LLM call. Once API LLM generate the response here, they can go and convert the particular object and again return those object to the application. So everything about the prompt, adding format of your class into the prompt and sending to LLM, from LLM getting response, converting to the again Java object or whatever the types response you want again. So your user application understanding, I am just passing the user prompt and I am getting the structure output. So the beauty of this Spring AI ecosystem, they are working on the behalf of you. So they talk to the LLM, they get the plain text, but convert response, whatever response you want. And as a application, as a user, client developer, they feel I am getting the proper object, the response which want, like a look like a very simple structure format. So this is the high level your you can say architectures of the structure output in the Gen AI model. So Gen AI not convert your response to the Java object or Go language or Python object. Here our Spring AI ecosystem responsible to converting raw text to the your structures output object and give the response to the you. That is the overall concept behind the structured output from the Gen AI. Okay. So now it's make you the clear how Spring AI here give us very fluent chat client API where just we set, hey, this kind of a response I want. So whenever you are going to the build, hey, chat client and call prompt, call user message, call the LLM and get the response. While getting the response, you can say, hey, I want to entity, and this is the kind of entity I want, a particular a dot class, and a dot class, the API response. So we are using chat client fluent API provided by the Spring AI so that our applications now take the benefit of Gen AI as well as the structure output concept. So that is the information for today. Thank you.